And to that developing story coming from Mokwa in Niger State, where a flood devastation there has left more than 180 people dead. Chanemi Bame is a senior reporter. He has spent days in Mokwa covering the aftermath of the flood. He joins me live now for more. Chanemi, what have you seen on ground and what are you hearing? Chanemi, I'm asking you about what you have seen and what you've heard, especially regarding the provision of relief items to victims of this very sad development.
Hi, good evening. It's good to be here. And then we're reaching you from Mokwa, where we've spent days covering the aftermath of the flood devastation. It's quite unfortunate what the people have to go through every day. And then today we had some big guests come into the community. The wife of the governor of Niger State came and made cash donations. And as regards relief items, I spoke to the locals. They said they're yet to receive relief items. In fact, I spoke to the local chief, and he said they're yet to receive. I spoke to to an INSEMA official. He said the items that they brought, they could not distribute them because they're still taking records, and they are scared that people that were not affected might come and collect the items, leaving those that are really affected stranded. So for that reason, they've not been able to distribute. But like this evening, just a couple of minutes ago, I got some calls that tomorrow morning they're making it some distribution. So I hope to see that.
All right, Chanemi. And but talk to us. You reported about stench coming from that community, from the maybe hundreds of bodies who are buried under the rubble. Talk to us about that and the health implication, as you've heard from health experts.
I mean, that place right now, if proper evacuation is not carried out in the next couple of hours, there is an outbreak of disease is imminent in that place. And because there are bodies decomposing under the debris already, and then it's expected that some form of fumigation should happen to ensure that the people that live and walk around that area are safe. If you go to that place right now, the stench is building up, and it's difficult to even breathe around there if you're not wearing a nose mask. And by tomorrow or in the coming hours, it might get worse. And health experts are saying, I spoke with the commissioner for primary health care in Niger State today, and he said they are working together with the Ministry of Environment to ensure that proper evacuation is carried out. And then they are setting up some temporary medical camps in the general hospital here, and also in the primary school where they're supposed to use as the IDP camp. So we expect that when these measures are taken, that place should be safe, but these things need to happen quickly and in good time.
We know the president has declared emergency response, for persons who are affected by this incident. How are the people themselves reacting to this news coming from the government and, some of the visitors they've been receiving in recent time?
I mean, the people are still distraught. That's what I can say. They're waiting to see to have practical experiences of all of these things that have been said. They want shelter, they want tents, they want roofs, they want plants to help them rebuild. I spoke to a woman today, and then she just screamed and said she does not want food. That all she wants is a shelter. That's what she wants. That's why you find them keep going back to the scene of the incident to look for belongings. Some are even literally looking for roofing sheets, that were buried under their digging. They just need something to cover their heads because they've been taking shelter with their relations in the past 3 to 4 days. So these people really want to see this thing happen. They really want to get water supply, clean water supply. They really want to get a shelter. They really want to get food. They really want to get clothes. They really want to get mattresses and beds to sleep on.
All right,
this is what they're looking for.
Indeed. Thank you very much for that update. And thank you to you and your team for the work you're doing covering this incident.